Hi you guys, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. My name is Belkis. On today's video, if you guys have looked on the title, yes, I want you guys to get ready with me with my husband's ex-wife, Azul. Alright, so yeah you guys, so we're just gonna be chatting, getting ready to just go out, have a good time. She's gonna go out with her husband, I'm gonna go out with my husband. So yeah, let's get started. So I'm going to be using today my NARS foundation, but it's going to be different. So, Azul, the audience wants to know what's up with our relationship.
You know what?
Like honestly, because people, when they automatically see the title, they're going to be like,
why do they get along?
why do they get along?
Like,
What?
why are they not at each
They're
other's
not perfect.
throat?
They're not perfect. There has to be flaws in their relationship, and like it makes no sense. There's
100%. But
there-
you know what?
yeah.
I feel like in the end, we're gonna disagree because we're two totally different people. But we have to compromise because in the end, we're family.
And if you guys obviously don't know this, my husband had a child with her, and we made that choice in an early on stage. If I was going to be part of my husband's life, I had to, accept the fact that he came with this little package. And that's the package that they both shared, which is Andrea. Honestly, the best thing that could have ever happened to me, because she showed me how to be a mom to my daughter. I just think that it's something that people think that, like it's like a bad thing. Like,
Yeah, automatically everyone has to assume that we have to hate each other. But we have one thing in common, the good that we can do for our daughter.
Right.
Whether I like it or not, you're going to be in my daughter's life.
and whether I like it or not, she's gonna be in my daughter's life.
Yeah.
It is what it is,
We're gonna.
How did you
I
feel
know.
when I came in the picture?
I remember my mom was like, he has a girl in the car, right? And I remember thinking, like, okay, this is weird because we've only been separated for a couple months, but I was already seeing somebody else too. So I couldn't be mad. And I knew things were over between him and I. So it wasn't like,
Right.
I'm going to be mad, like, oh my God, who is this girl? Like, that's my man. It was never like that. It was like, okay, she is going to be around my daughter. I need to get to know her. I just thought my daughter is 1.5 years old. These are her, like, toddler formative years.
I know.
So I need to know who she's going to be around. And I knew that she was going to be okay because she's with her dad. So I knew she was going to be okay.
Yeah.
But I didn't know you. So I was like, okay, I need to make sure that I know if anything ever goes down, that I need to know who this person is. I remember you came up to me and you were like, hi, I'm Becky, and I'm here to pick up your daughter.
Let's just buff this
That's
in,
so
folks.
weird.
Let's just buff this in.
You know what? People would automatically assume we have to hate each other, but we don't, because...
And that's one thing that I told Carlos. I said, when he asked me to move in, he told me, he said, I really want you to move in, and I was like, I can't move in. Like, you shared this home with your current wife. Like, I know you guys are not, you guys have split and stuff, but this is weird. I have to make sure I'm not the baby mama drama type that consumes the relationship. If this is like for real that you want me to move in with you, like for me, that's serious. That's not something that I'm gonna move in with you this month and then leave next month. Absolutely not. If I'm moving in, that's because you need to make sure that there's a respect first, because I don't want her to think that I'm trying to be this little girl's mom.
Yeah.
And at one point, I did try to correct Andrea by saying mommy, and I said, you know what, call me Buki. Because she tried to say Belkis.
And she couldn't.
And she couldn't.
She wasn't
So she
even
said-
2 yet.
So she said Buki, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay, Buki. Buki it is. That was the respect that, because I was like, how would I feel? And I would feel, I wouldn't be okay with it at all. And I feel that you've accepted a lot of things that it would be hard for me to accept. I'm getting emotional. I can't.
I knew that I didn't want him back, and I knew that he didn't want me back. It was a mutual thing. It was a mutual understanding between him and I that we didn't want each other back. So what's the point of fighting?
Yeah.
What's the point of being at war all the time or disagreeing on things that didn't matter?
I hear stories like you've heard stories where like, you know, like the dad's trying to bring, you know, his new wife or, you know, girlfriend to his child's birthday party, but because the baby mama is not okay with it,
Yeah.
or because the new girlfriend is not okay with seeing the ex-wife, it's like you're forgetting the point.
I just care about my daughter. And at the end of the day, we're always going to have disagreements because she has to stand by her husband. But there's a kid in between, and it's like you have to figure out how to get along because...
And that's the thing that, like, we're saying this now, but let me tell you, our child is now what, 15 years old. We've had arguments. Like,
15.
she's cursed me out, hung up, blocked me, vice versa. Like, and I'm like, this girl better not change her number because there's no point. I'm gonna start baking. What did you think when, like, I was disciplining your child? How did you feel that when
I felt like I really appreciated you, honestly, because I knew that we all had to be on the same page. And if it was something that I knew I was going to discipline my daughter over, I was like, okay, I'm glad that she's doing the same thing because
that's something
we have to be in the same page.
And it's like, okay, when you discipline her, she's gonna understand what she did was wrong, or whatever the case may be. And it's like, what would Azul have done? And I always had to think that. Always had to think that.
And
always.
that's one thing that I will always be grateful for. That
Because not that many
you
women would
always,
want. Not that many women would be like, not my problem. Goodbye.
I'm walking away. Yeah, I'm staying out of it. And Becky always made sure that she gave me a call. She filled me in on what the issue was, and I was like,
and I would tell her,
"You got this.
I did this.
I'm on the same page." Like I'll do the same thing when she comes home, and like we just gotta be on the same page.
It's not about liking the person. It's liking me, whatever the case be. It's literally, it comes off of just having that good communication and respect for the sake of
the child.
Of the child.
There's a child in common. Yes. I gotta be 100% honest here. I feel like whenever I needed something done my way or I needed something done the right way, I had to ask you because it always felt like the ex-husband is gonna want to disagree with you. So I felt like
she's not kidding there. She's not kidding. She's definitely said that a lot of times.
Yes, where I felt like, okay, I want my daughter to go to a certain school, but if I tell her dad, especially in the beginning, if I tell her dad, he's automatically gonna want to disagree with me because I'm the ex-wife. But if I go to his wife and she agrees with me, then she can relay the message to him in the right way where it's going to sound good for me. And it's like, okay, you go tell him that, and then he's going to see it from a different point of view rather than seeing it from the ex-wife.
He's always going to be open to listen to me more than being open of listening to what you have to say.
Yes.
Which is normal.
100%.
It's normal though. It's normal. It's normal. You're always going to second guess what your ex-wife is saying. Maybe they're exaggerating, or what your, ex-husband's saying, like if they're exaggerating, or, what are they trying to get out of me, like... Where, yeah, I mean, I got it.
He gets the message without having to, like, a judgment before that, just because I'm the ex-wife. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not gonna say that everything has always been rainbows and unicorns. It has not been. We have our disagreements, but
how do you, like, when we disagree on
how to raise her, period.
Yeah, like on how to raise her. Like,
we have disagreements. How do you move on from that? How do you make it to where you figure out what the purpose is? The whole purpose is we're raising a child together. It doesn't matter. In the end, we're family. We're gonna disagree, and at the end, we're gonna be like, okay, well, she's still here. She's not going anywhere.
We still share the same memories. We still do everything. When do you feel that you felt the first time that you wanted to choke me? That you wanted to like no, this bitch.
At first, it was in the beginning when I would speak to my daughter when she was like around 2 years old, and she'd be like, "Mommy Becky said," and I was like, it was gut wrenching. She was 2.5 years old, and it was gut.
And it's not like I was telling this 2-year-old toddler.
No,
go
she
tell...
just didn't know the difference between me and you. In her eyes, you and I were the exact same person. She does not know about biology. She does not know about blood relation. In her eyes, you were there just as much as I was.
Yeah.
So I couldn't get mad
Doctor
at
visits, schools, daycare.
Exactly. Yeah. So I just have to put myself in my child's shoes and realize that to her, Becky and I are the same person. That's Mommy Becky, that's Mommy Azul. Period.
Yeah.
They're both my mommy.
Yeah.
So I can't take that away from her and be like, that's not your mommy. I would never say that to her because
she wouldn't understand it.
She wouldn't understand it. She would be like, what do you mean? She feeds me in the morning. She takes me to school. She changes my diaper. What do you mean?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah, I can't do that to my child.
It's not mentally healthy.
Yeah, no.
It really isn't. But that was my thing, that I always wanted to make sure that I turned her in one piece, because I would want the same thing for me.
If you had a kid.
Yeah, if I had a kid and I had to share, I would. Because I wouldn't be okay with it. I just wouldn't.
And I feel like that's what always made our relationship work. That you would always put yourself in my shoes. If I had a kid, what would I do? If I had a kid, would I want things to work this way? And you always relay that to me. And you would always tell me, you know what? If that was my kid, I would do this, this, and this. And I would be like, okay, you know what? She's right.
Or if I wanted to do something or whatever the case may be, like I would tell you, hey, is it okay? Listen, it's not about like, why do you need to ask permission? Like, who cares? It's like, no, you do have to ask permission. This is her mom.
Yeah, you have to look at the bigger picture.
We
don't have to hate each other just because that's what everybody else does. And I remember, like, I would always tell people about our relationship. Like, oh, I'm going shopping to the mall for Christmas because my daughter doesn't. Oh, that's cool. Okay, her stepmom's coming with us. What? People would always just like drop their jaw, like they assume that we have
like,
to
why?
hate each other.
And like, why?
Why do you get along? Why not?
Yeah.
My daughter loves it when we're both happy, and when she's in the middle and she's happy and she has both her mommies. Yeah. She's the happiest. Why would I take that away from her?
Now she's a teenager. Now she's like,
now
y'all can just do what you want. I'm just gonna be on my phone talking to my friends. Leave me be.
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
And how did you feel when I invited you to our wedding?
Okay, that was the best.
But how did you feel when I called you?
I was surprised. 100%. I was really surprised.
But how did you feel?
Not her husband, like when my husband.
But seriously, how did you feel when I called you?
I was really shocked. It made me feel really good because I was like, wow, like she's really putting things aside to make sure that her daughter is taken care of and her daughter is happy, and she sees that we're celebrating love and we're celebrating
and that her mom's included as well. And it's like, so when my daughter gets older, she's 15 now, she's gonna become an adult, make her own memories with her spouse, get married, have a family, whatever the case may be. And she's gonna see your pictures, my pictures, and she's gonna be like, oh my God, my mom went to your wedding? Absolutely. Why would you invite her?
Yes.
Because, like, that's your mom. Like, I want her to be part of it. Yeah. You and I, we were becoming a family, and she is part of my family.
So you and Carlos were together for how long?
We've been together since 2006. So we're going to be married this year for 10 years.
That's amazing.
I know. Yeah. Being married to my husband is worth it, because he's honestly the best man that I've ever met. I'm going to get emotional, but I'm going to stop.
Aww.
But for real. For real. But that was my wedding day, and I set the tone. And that was the tone that I wanted.
It was special.
That was the tone that I wanted.
Because I remember seeing Andrea and seeing, she saw her little brother there. And she was so excited. Yeah. And we went to the party, and everybody was like coming up to me like, so you're Carlos's ex-wife? Yes. And I was there with my husband.
With her husband, yeah.
And people were like, so did Carlos do this at your wedding? I'm like, what? Are you serious? This is his wedding now. Like,
wow.
Did he
interesting.
No,
I never...
you know what? Did he have the same best man? Well,
Shut
actually,
up.
he did.
I didn't know that. People asked you that?
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
Oh, y'all got some
Did the
explaining
best
to
man
do.
do
Yup.
the same speech on your? You know what? I don't remember.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that. I would be so embarrassed. I would be like, what the? Why are you asking her these questions?
It's like, that's none of my
Unreal.
business to explain to anybody because he's happy right now and she's happy and my daughter's happy and that's all that matters.
I bet you and your husband were like,
Oh yes.
I bet you
he
guys got in the
looked at
car-
me and was like, "What?" We were drinking wine though. So.
I never knew that. I'm really in shock right now. I really am, because I'm like, what? I'd be mortified if one of you guys trying to fish around, like, why are you guys trying to make her, like, we're blending a family. She was invited by the person paying, which was us both, my husband and me. Like, you don't need to do that. That's tacky. That's classless.
That's tacky.
That's
for
very
sure.
tacky. You don't do that. You don't do that. You don't even know her from nothing.
Because
It's
people
like,
don't look at it that way.
but at the same time, there's also a lot of people that don't try to blend their families, that don't try to understand, at least try to understand the other person and try to understand, be like, you know what, this is who they are. I am who I am. She is who she is.
No, they don't get it.
Like, who cares? Who cares about what happened in the past? Like, that's none of my business. Which it's has nothing to do with me.
Exactly.
And what has to do with me is just what I do in my time with her daughter and my husband. That's all me.
100%.
That's all me.
What do your coworkers say when you tell them like, "Oh, I gotta call the ex-wife"?
I know someone that we've known each other since 2006, since I started working over at Hilton. And she was like, I'd like to see what she has to say. I'd like to see what you have to say.
Because people
I've
always
never
have this picture of what it's supposed to be,
And
and it's not like that for us.
And sometimes she could be saying to her friends like, oh yeah, and this and that, blah, 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 blah. It may look like it's gossip or whatever. And same thing with me. We're women.
Yeah.
We're women. We love to talk shit. We love to gossip. It is what it is. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But in all realness, in a serious standpoint, I feel that what's true is when we're around our child.
Yeah.
The child that we share.
Yeah.
That's when people see us in a different limelight. And then our friends are like, wait a minute, I thought that. No, you don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, that's all talking shit.
You don't get it. Yeah.
But in reality, we're doing this, it's not for us. It's literally for her. It truly is, you know? And there was a lot of misunderstanding. There was a lot. There was a lot. Let me do this eyeliner because I'm like holding like a pendeja. Like, seriously. Okay, I need to breathe. Do you hold your breath when you do your eyeliner?
Yes. We're both holding our breath, girl. We're like, that's funny. How the hell do you get them to match?
What?
How do you get them to match?
Just...
Oh no, I got it on my nose.
I honestly feel that this conversation, for some reason, it never happened. Like,
It's long overdue, girl. I've always felt like we would be the best of friends if it wasn't for the situation.
and I feel that, because she would tell me, like, I'm so thankful that you're in my daughter's life. And she said it multiple times in different occasions, in different years, but she has said that.
You're as involved in my daughter's life as I am because you don't have to. That's the thing, that like, okay, I'm the mom, okay, like I'm supposed to do this and that. You don't have to do that. And you've always been there for my daughter just as much as I have. And sometimes even more, I feel like. Sometimes you have her more during the week, etc. So it's like you're just as involved as me, and she does not see the difference.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no,
I appreciate that.
And I've told you,
and I appreciate every time that she says it, because, I mean, I
things
just
change.
do.
Yeah, things change
do.
and people change, and that's just always been the same thing for us. I feel like it's just you're there for my daughter, and that's all that I care about.
And as the mom, the ex-wife, saying that to someone else, like, that takes a lot of guts.
Yeah.
I like to see. I like.
It's not about
like,
pride. It's not about.
But a lot of women.
Right.
A lot of women are like, I don't need to thank you. That's my kid.
And
you
I feel like I do, because it's like
you. But why do you feel that you do? Why?
Because you don't have to do these things for my daughter, but you do them without even thinking about it, without even like questioning it.
It's good to have that understanding and respect with each other. Because without that, we wouldn't have never gotten along or even gotten to know each other and just see, who I am,
No, and we're not lying to anybody when we tell you guys that we disagree, we fight.
Yeah.
We get into it, but at the end we're family.
Like
I can't get away from you.
No, I don't think you can get away from me either. Let me ask you this. So, what did you think when we went to Disneyland?
That was the one thing that I will never forget, that you took Andrea to Disneyland for the first time, because I love Disneyland, and I try to make an effort to go to Disneyland once a year at least. So when I saw that you took her when she was like 2 years old,
she was tiny.
That was hard. I did feel like you took that away from me.
Really?
Yeah. But I wasn't going to tell them no. I wasn't going to tell you, no, don't take my daughter to Disneyland. Like, of course, if she has the opportunity to go to Disneyland, yes, please go to Disneyland.
Right. For sure.
And I've always been grateful, and I've always tried to make sure that I relay that message to you, that I'm grateful for everything that you do for my daughter, because that's my daughter, and you don't have to do anything for her, but you do.
I appreciate that.
And you do with love.
I appreciate that. And sometimes, let me tell you, now that she's 15, she's a teenager. So she gets on my nerves. and sometimes I tell her, walk away.
And you know what the worst part is? Like, she's a mini-me.
Yeah, she is.
So it's like, she can't get away from me.
That's true. I do have to say this, though, too. Because people are probably going to look at this and be like, wow, they get along so well.
Yeah.
We don't all the time.
Not always.
We don't all the time. We don't. But I do appreciate you being the mom in the picture that was never the baby mama drama.
Yeah, no, that was never my intention. I never wanted to bring any drama. I've always been like really easygoing. I feel like okay, you got your point across. Okay, do I agree with this? Okay, yes, no, okay, let's compromise. Like, I feel like I'm easy to communicate with, for the most part.
But but listen, we're not perfect.
Yeah,
not one bit. We never said that we were. And I'm not going to sit here and say that, I'm not easy to communicate with, because sometimes I might not see the other person's point of view.
Also, I feel like the one thing that made us bond even more was the fact that we were both pregnant at the same time. Oh, wait! I almost gave birth in her house.
Her water broke. Okay, so check this out. I mean, you guys... this is not a normal situation. Like, this is not normal.
The ordinary story.
It's not my last. It's not. So, summer, 4th of July. Backtrack.
2016.
Backtrack. July 3rd. She says, "Oh my God, the AC went out." She's telling my husband this, and I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "So what does that mean?"
Yes, I'm like 7.5 months pregnant.
And she's pregnant. And I was like, oh my God, wait a minute. She's pregnant.
Without cooling.
And Carlos is like, yeah, they've been without heat and she's with Andrea. I'm like, where are they at now? They're at McDonald's. And I'm like, okay, but she's pregnant. So what's going to happen? he says, well, she needs a place to, you know, stay at for
Yeah,
for
I
the
was
night.
like, I'm gonna have
You
to
know,
get a
'cause they're
hotel
gonna-
room because this is insanity. It's 120 degrees, and I'm like 7.5 months pregnant. I'm like, I can't do this.
God about
Carlos
that.
called me. He was like, I cannot let you get a hotel room when you're this pregnant in this heat with no air conditioning. He's like, I have 2 spare rooms. Please come over, stay over here. Andrea is right here. My wife is here. She's pregnant as well. She can relate. I know how hot it is and how difficult it is for you. Please come over.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, like seriously, my mother didn't offer her house to me.
Wow.
And the fact that he did that, it was like, oh my gosh, yes. We got there at 9:30 p.m. and I was like, okay, guys, you know, get the kids in their pajamas. Everybody's going to bed. You were pregnant. You were like, I'm out of here. I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Carlos was like, make yourself comfortable. Here's some water. Like, he was great.
Yeah.
You know, my husband was like, thank you so much. And it was like, okay, get the kids in bed. You know, everybody's in bed. I was like, okay, we're good. Fast track to 11:15 p.m.
Wow.
I was like, is this a brand new mattress? I was like, I gotta go to the restroom.
On the way to the restroom.
This is not
Her
going,
water
this
broke.
is not going potty. This is something else. My water broke at her house.
In the hallway. And I'm like going
and I was
downstairs.
like, my water broke.
And I'm like with one eye open, like, what? And I was like, why do you have that towel on the
You
floor,
cannot
Matt?
make this up. Seriously, you cannot make this up. This is real. This is real life.
It is. Yes. I asked her husband, I was like, Matt, why do you have the towel on the floor? And Carlos was like, her water broke. I said, I was like, that's
Right here, and you're touching your belly the whole time like this. You're like,
I was like, oh my God. I'm like, we gotta go to the hospital. And Carlos was like, no, they're gonna go. They got this.
Carlos goes, leave the boys here, go to the hospital. I was like, no, I'll call my mom. Listen, leave the boys.
Yeah.
They're asleep. Don't wake them up.
Yeah.
Go to the hospital.
Yeah.
It's almost midnight. Go to the
Yeah.
hospital. It was
And you know what?
pain.
I give props to women like you that like give birth without a epidural. Like that takes fucking courage.
But you know what, guys? I
Like-
never feel more comfortable leaving my kids with anybody other than her. Because she took such good care of my daughter that I was not worried. All I had to worry about was my newborn baby that was in the NICU at the time.
Yeah.
And that's all I had to care about. My other 2 boys
'Cause I
and
didn't
my
want her
daughter
to-
were taken care of.
And I didn't want you to like stress over that because I'm like, damn, like no AC. She's
I feel like the
pregnant,
fact
and
that
it's
you were
like-
pregnant and you were almost due at the same time, like
I understood. I was like,
you,
what would
you
I
could
want?
relate.
Yeah, I was like,
You
what
were
would
like,
I want?
oh my gosh, I have to step in. I have to do something about this.
Yeah, because I would want someone to do the same thing for me. Like if I was in that situation, I definitely would. I'd be cursing somebody out if they wouldn't be moving for me. And certain people would tell me like, they're like, what?
Why?
You had them over? What?
Yeah.
Her water broke at your house? What is she doing?
What was she
there?
doing there to begin with?
They were
It
like,
was like,
but they were like, what is she
Yeah.
doing there?
yeah.
And I'm like, well, first of all, let's not forget, this is Andrea's mom. You guys
Yeah.
are talking like as if
Yeah.
she's a stranger. We learned a long time ago that we just had to just kind of keep our relationship with us, with our family, separate from other people because they're still going to have their opinion. They're still going to think that it's
Yeah,
wrong.
nobody can understand it unless they're in our shoes, I feel like, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Like, sometimes do you feel like I'm not involved enough, or do you feel like, because that's not my intention at all, but I want to know, like, how you feel from your standing point.
I feel like I'm going to answer this 100% honest. I feel like, yes, there is sometimes not baby mama drama because she includes me in the conversation and what the problem is, what the situation is. I feel like majority of it, I feel that you could have been a little bit more involved.
Yeah.
But I feel like at the same time, it's unfair to say that because you have other children.
I never understood that until you had your own kid. You feel the same way?
I do.
Like,
I do.
Like you never
I do.
could see it my way. It
Because
was
I
like,
always had Andrea,
you were
and if I
like,
didn't have Andrea, it was...
it needs 100% of my attention. So it was like,
No.
and I was like, I have to divide that by 3. I have to be fair to each kid. And it was like, I'm sorry that, you know, that you don't see it that way, but it was like once you had your own kid, it was like, okay, I get it. And I will never forget the one time when I went to your house.
I did feel like that. I
went
felt
to
like
your
you could have
house.
been...
Yeah. No, yeah, a lot of the times I did see that, but I was like, I was trying to be understanding because I was like, she doesn't get it.
And I didn't get it because I'm like, what's the issue? Like, why can't she just, step in? Like she has one daughter, and it's like I kept thinking that, and it's like, Belkis, she may have one daughter, but she has 2 other kid, 2 other kids, 3 other kids now. Like, it's different. It's challenging. All right, so how do you feel about this video? Like, what do you think about it?
That was really fun, and I hope that somebody hopefully out there can relate and see that there's a bigger picture out there.
Yeah,
there's a common ground that you can find, because all that matters is that your child is happy and your child knows that she's taken care of. And
That's true.
No
And
matter,
that's the most important
no
thing,
matter
right?
what, yes, we're gonna agree, we're gonna disagree, and there's gonna be moments where we wanna, walk away from each other, but in the end we have a kid together, and
That's
she's
true.
gonna be part of our lives no matter what.
I really do hope that that this video reaches out to the right people,
Yeah.
that really try to look into their situation and be like, how can I be a better person in this situation? Because it's not about me. It's not about my spouse. It really isn't.
Not about you. It's about your child.
I really do hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and like my channel. Until next time, you guys. Bye.